You got a research project you're trying to take care of? I know, that's why you're here, right? I'm going to teach you how to do research using the EBSCO database. So the first thing we need to do is get to the online library. That is this right here typed into your browser, onlinelibrary.uen.org. That'll take you to this online library. If you're at home and it asks you for a username or a password, that's going to be right here, your login name, online, your password database. If you're at school, it should just pop you in here automatically. So anyways, onlinelibrary.uen.org takes you here to this database. We're going to be exploring today the EBSCO high schools. You can see there are a few other EBSCOs. They're more tailored to specific things, but EBSCO high schools is what we want. It's going to give us all of the research we need to do high school and college level research. And while we're talking about it, you really need to learn how to use EBSCO. It is what you're going to use in college, no matter what college you go to. EBSCO is the go-to database. So you need to learn how to use it. So start practicing now. It'll bless your life, which is all I really want to do. Okay, so EBSCO has these databases within it. You can tell there's a lot of interesting things like small business reference, science reference, AutoMate will even tell you, like, if you put in what's wrong with your car, it'll tell you what part to buy, like kind of things like that. But we're going to do academic research today, so we're going to click on Academic Search Premier. That's typically the best database. You could also go down here and search all databases if you'd like to. But let's stick with Academic Search Premier for now. And in the Academic Search Premier, first thing that's going to pop up is this basic barcode, okay? And you're going to want to type, like, let's say what you normally want to do, because you're thinking about like a Google search, is you're going to be like, what is partial birth abortion? And you're going to want to like type in a question and think that it's going to give you all of the answers. That's not how we do a search for research, okay? That's not how we do it. So what we're going to do is probably the next thought you're going to have is, well, I'll just type in abortion then, because that's my topic, right? But if you type in just one word, it's going to bring up so many resources. As you can see here, I have 25,000 search results. Do you want to look through 25,000 articles? No, you don't. Nobody does. So we need to learn how to search just a little bit more narrow. So if you're in the basic search bar, you can use that. But what I would prefer you do is click on here on advanced search, okay? Advanced search is going to force you to do a Boolean phrase searching. Boolean's a weird word. I don't know where it came from, but I do know how to use it, and I'm going to teach you. So Boolean means you're going to use these terms and, or, and not, okay, to narrow your term search. So I'm going to put abortion here, and I'm going to say and partial birth. So now it's not going to search everything with abortion. It's going to search everything that has abortion and partial birth in it. And that's going to narrow it down from every single thing with abortion. So you can see I narrowed that down to 807 results, which is much more manageable. But I could do a little bit more. I could say, or I want partial birth, or let's say late term, okay? Or is going to broaden it. It's going to give me everything that has partial birth or late term in it, either one, okay? So it's not going to give me everything with abortion. You can see I don't have 25,000 results, but I have 1,800, right? But what if I change this to abortion, not partial birth, and late term? I'm going to have how many results do you think? I'm going to have fewer than the 1,800, because I'm saying I don't want partial birth, but I do want late term, okay? You see how you have to train your mind a little bit to narrow things down and then use these Boolean terms to help you. So now I've got 252, okay? Makes sense? So that's a great way to help you narrow your search. Let's say I'm in abortion and partial birth. That was about 800 results, I remember. Yeah. And I still want to narrow it down, okay? What I want to show you is these things over on the side to help you narrow your search down, okay? The first thing is you always want to limit it to full text. So make sure this is checked. Otherwise, you're just going to get links to sources, but you're not going to have those actual sources, and it's going to give you a headache and drive you crazy. So always limit it to full text. And then the next thing I would do is play with this publication date, right? 1990 is not that recent. I know, because you were born after that. So let's put it more recent, like maybe 2017 to 2020. I just want really current stuff, right? Good. Oh, look, that narrowed me down to 22 results. That is manageable. It's current information, and it only has to do with abortion and partial birth, only partial birth abortion. That's totally manageable, right? Okay, I want you to think about a few things because this database is so current and it's so widely used around the world that thousands and thousands and thousands of articles are put in here every single day, okay, which is great because you can always find new information or information really on any topic. But you're going to have to use these things to narrow it down. Otherwise, you're going to be searching through way too many articles. So if searching to the publication date takes it narrow enough, that's great. If not, you can also narrow it by source types. So you can say, I'm only interested in newspapers and magazines, or however you want to do that. But this is just another way to narrow it down. Okay, cool. So let's say that I'm in here and I'm reading these titles because you kind of have to guess based on the titles. It's not the best way to do research, but sometimes that's how you do it, right? Okay, so let's say I'm going to, oh, this looks good. Idaho governor signs state ban on partial birth abortions. Okay, I'm going to read this article, okay? And you're going to have to do this a few times. You're going to have to read a few articles till you kind of find what you need. You might need to work on your search terms a little bit more, okay? But let's say I find this article. Let me show you how to use the tools and the article once you find what you're looking for. Okay, so the first thing is it's going to come up with a detailed record. That is just telling you where this came from and who wrote it and all that kind of stuff. Blah, blah, blah. You don't care, right? So what I want you to click on is PDF full text. It will either have a choice for PDF full text or HTML full text. Either way, you need the full text. When you click on the full text, that's when you're able to read the actual article. And as you can see, it shows me the article as it was originally printed, either in the newspaper or the magazine, okay? And now I can read the article. That's the entire article, okay? Cool. Okay, so let's say I read this and it has information that I want to quote or cite. Awesome. This is super important. You need to learn how to use your tools. So what I would like you to do is open another browser and kind of get to an article using the tips that I've just shown you in EBSCO. And then I'd like you to kind of follow along doing the tools with me because it is so important that you use your tools as you go. Even if this article, I am maybe going to use it, maybe not, I don't care. Use your tools because if you use your tools as you go, then you'll be able to get the information back right where you need it. It'll be at your fingertips. If not, you're going to have to come in and start from the beginning and start your search again. And guess what? It's going to be different because, again, this database changes so regularly that you're not just going to be able to find the article again. So here's what I want you to do. Hopefully you've caught up to me. You've got an article. The first thing I want you to do is right here, create a permalink, okay? If you don't create a permalink, then this article that you've selected is just going to stay out there in space. It's not going to have a permanent homepage, okay? So you need to create a permalink. When you click on this, it pops up right here, permalink, and it has this link that you can just copy and paste. And what I would do is just open up my docs. Okay, Google Docs. And I would just open up my docs and I would create a new doc called sources or whatever you want to call it. Sorry, I should have had this ready, but you know how to do this. You know how to get to Google Drive. Perfect. Okay, so I just create a new doc, call it sources, call it whatever you want to call it, permalinks, whatever, and just create that permalink and paste it in your doc. After you paste it, you got to push enter. That creates the link. Now, when I click on this link, I can go to this article because this article has a home because I created a permalink. If I don't create a permalink, I'm telling you, this has happened to so many people. You'll go to pull this article up when it's time to start writing your paper and it won't be there anymore. Okay, so create the permalink. Trust me on that, okay? And then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to cite the article. This is a tool that you don't have to do, but you're going to want to do, okay? Because when I click cite, it pulls up all of these formats and I can just scroll down to the one my teacher's asking me to use. It's probably MLA. And don't you love this? You can just copy this. And I usually paste it in the same document where I pasted my permalink. And then I just paste it and it does the work for me. And boom, there's my citation. Now listen, you're thinking, why did I have to create a permalink when this link is right here? That link will help you write your bibliography, right? It will help you do your sources because you can say, I accessed it from here on this date, but it will not bring you back to the article. So again, trust me, create a permalink, then copy and paste your citation here, then you can just leave it, okay? And then the last tool that I want you to use, which is so, so important, is Google Drive. Send it to your Google Drive, okay? It will request permission the first time. You'll give it permission. Can I go to your Google Drive? You'll say yes. And then when you go to your drive, then it will be there under recents, okay? So That's super helpful to you because now you just have the article that you can copy and paste your quotes directly from, and it's saved in your Drive. And again, you don't have to go find it again in the database. Okay, so Google Drive, permalink, citation. Trust me, use these tools or you're gonna be so sad. Okay, finally, so if I have done all those, I've saved this article and I'm ready to go back and look for more articles, right? More research to support whatever I'm writing about, okay? One other tool that I wanna show you about is this one over here called, let me go back one page. So right when you pull it up, the article, you're going to see this find similar results. I love this because it searches the article that I just read that I like, that I want to use, and it finds similar articles, okay? It's so helpful. Now, it's going to find a lot of similar articles, but to me, usually the first 8 to 20 that come up are exactly what I'm looking for, and it's so helpful. And you can limit this find similar results the same way. You can limit your date and all of that. You can limit your source types, okay? But I think that's a super easy way to find more similar articles. Okay, so that being said, guess what you've learned? You've learned how to use EBSCO. That's really all there is to it. You've got to use the advanced search. You've got to limit your articles. You've got to find similar results. And then you've got to just use your tools. Ta-da! You're done. That's all there is, I promise. However, I know this is new and you're just learning and it can be a little bit overwhelming and maybe your topic is a little bit unique or a little bit hard to find. That's what I'm here for. Come see me, email me. I would love to help you get your research done. But here's the thing, the good thing, you know what you're doing. So go ahead and get started. EBSCO database, EBSCO High Schools, remember onlinelibrary.uen.org. Can't wait to see what you come up with. Bye.